I'm here to tell the truth. Shame the devil. So one of the most pivotal things in this journey, family, is when you start walking with God, people are going to have to go. I'm going to start with the story of Abraham, because one of the first stories we see where Abraham has to make a decision, family. He is walking a path. His cousin decides to come with him, Lot, and they rolling together. And at some point, he feels like even though they're in a wilderness and even though there's a lot of space, it's not enough space for him and Lot. For him and Lot. And so he basically turns to Lot and says, which this is obviously becoming too much for us both to roll together. Where do you want to go? And he lets Lot have the first choice. Lot decides to go to where Sodom and Gomorrah is. And Abraham, as his cousin is leaving, God then, at that point, gives Abraham a promise. Why is that important? Sometimes, family, God is waiting for you to leave. God is waiting for you to leave your comfort zone. God is waiting for you to leave your family. God is waiting for you to leave that job. God is waiting for you to leave that relationship. You're wondering where the direction is. You're wondering where God is leading you. He ain't going to tell you nothing until you leave Lot. Lot has to go. Sometimes Lot happens to be your family member. Sometimes Lot happens to be your man. Sometimes Lot happens to be your woman. Sometimes Lot happens to be, your friends. Sometimes, all the time, Lot's got to go. And because we hold on to Lot, we don't ever get to receive the promise. Abraham had a promise when he left his land. God reiterated that promise with even more details when Lot went his own way. So I'm talking to people tonight that need to lose a lot. They need to lose a lot. They need to lose a lot. Because the reason why you can't hear God the way you're supposed to. Family, God doesn't give us a bunch of instructions. God gives us one. Because he's a good father. He understands us. He gives us one instruction. And when we don't listen to that one instruction, he does not speak until you do it. And some of us I've heard people say, well, God's telling me this, God's telling me that. God don't contradict himself. God don't mince words. He don't one day think you should be doing this and one day think you should be doing that. And he's not going to give you a bunch of things to do. And a lot of us are running away from hearing God because the work it may require us, the things it may cost us. But I'm here to tell you, it's worth it. Purpose is worth it. Family, I just stepped into a room. Last Monday, my birthday. And a room I had never been invited into until now. On that same day, something came through that I've been waiting on for 3 years, 3.5 years, on my birthday. There are things you cannot unlock, doors you cannot open until you lose a lot. And I'm here to expose that. I'm here to expose the lot. Because family, I want you guys today, for everybody watching me, I want you guys to be brutally honest. I do not want you to here's the thing, family. I will talk to people, and because they want to hold on to Lot, they will find ways to keep Lot in their lives. So when they're hearing me from the lens of defensiveness. Well, what? No, I want you to be brutally honest, because it's not about me and it's not about you. It's about what God is going to try to do in your life. And you may not understand why you have to lose Lot. You may not understand why you got to lose Lot now, but I will tell you something. Every time I've lost Lot, what I found out, God saved me from. But I had to be obedient in losing Lot. And when I lost Lot, it felt like a lot. So I want you guys to really lock in. I don't want you to come up with excuses. I don't want you to be defensive. I want you to really take inventory. Because your inability to let go of what God is calling you to is keeping you from where God is trying to take you. Period. Sometimes you got to let people go, and people may not understand why you got to let go. People may not understand why you had to go. They may question it. It's not for people to understand. You be faithful to what God has called you to do. Let God handle the rest. Let God handle the rest. Okay? So, somebody wrote me on here. Thank you, Trey Sean, for starting to giving off tonight. Says I can't get canceled. I never got picked up for a pilot in the first place. Happy belated birthday, Sam. Thank you, Trey Sean. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So let's get into it. Let's do number one sign. Number one sign that you are being called to let go of a lot. The relationship no longer aligns with your God-given purpose. Sign, you feel a growing mismatch between your calling, your values, spiritual direction, and this person's presence or influence. The relationship starts to pull you off course rather than keep you in step with God. Here's the thing, family. Anything. Well, thank you, LLC. Thank you for that. Thank you for all that you do by letting God use you to point to people. Thank you so much for being so generous. I don't know how to say your name, but hello. Thank you. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I really don't know how to say it, but I love it. I love the sign too. Okay. When we're talking about purpose, God is never going to send you somebody that takes you away from what he's called you to do. If there's somebody in your life that is causing you to fall into sin. Now, family, we can do this whole should sin, everybody sins. Everybody does sin. There's a difference between sinning and being a sinner. I think there's differences. There's people that are choosing, like, I know I'm sinning. I'm doing it anyway. I know God has called me out of this thing. I'm doing it anyway. That is deliberate disobedience. And I'm here to tell you, if there's anything you're hearing from God, you're not hearing from God. Because if you're in deliberate disobedience with God, it is almost impossible for you to really know what he's saying. Alignment with God, walking in faith, requires obedience. That's the tax you pay. It's the cost you pay. It's getting uncomfortable. It's letting go of things you don't want to let go of. It's calling you to a life of obedience and discipline that is uncomfortable for the normal, average human. It's not an easy walk. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it is. It's hard. It's challenging, but it's worth it. Right? So number one, God is never going to send you somebody that takes you away from him. He's never going to send you somebody that takes you out of alignment for purpose. The enemy is going to send you a good-looking counterfeit distraction. Always. Always. There's always going to be a counterfeit distraction that, it looked good, baby. It looked good. Sinning, it looked. But let me tell you something. It's too expensive. A lot of times God is he's going to bring you somebody into your life. They're going to seem like a great thing. They're going to seem like everything you want it to be. And that's why we got to have our ear to God at all times. Because what looks good, and they may be good people, but it can absolutely not be God. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine. And I said, I don't believe God's in that. But you take it up with the Lord. You do what you need to do. You figure it out for yourself. Then she'll tell me the same thing. That's not God. Blah, blah, blah. We allow ourselves to have accountability in that way. But ultimately, we're grown people. We make decisions for ourselves. You have to, in this life, you will save yourself a lot of heartache having your ear to God. When God tells you to move, you move. You will save yourself a lot of trouble. Family, I have in this journey, I have let go of, I can't tell you how many different things. Can I tell you right now that on the other side of every single thing I've lost, Every single thing I've lost, God has repaid me with double. I had to let go of a lot. But man, I got a promise. And I have a relationship with my promise keeper in a way that I've never had before. I've experienced God in ways I can't even imagine. I had a dinner the other day, and a friend of mine that, we had this get together for my birthday. And she says, Sam, I will never forget the day that my sister, or like somebody she's really close to, coded. And I called you. You were in the middle of a Zoom. I got into the Zoom just to get you on the line. And I said, okay, so what happened, sis? And she's like, I'll never forget this moment. I asked you to pray. I didn't know what else to do. At the end of the prayer, that woman's heart started to beat again. And she's like, I couldn't believe. She's like, and it happened again. I ended up doing it a few times in our group. Again, it's not me, because it's not me. I'm not in the room. I don't know all the words. All I know is that I have faith that my God can do exceedingly abundantly above all that he can ever ask, think, or imagine. I have witnesses to that. That through me and in me, God has done some miraculous things. Miracle signs and wonders. I know God is real. And you will save yourselves a lot of trouble by listening to him. But when we don't listen to him, because that person's a good person, person's always been there for you, person's always got your back, but they are out of alignment with purpose. And the enemy will use those closest to you. Look all throughout the Bible. Joseph, his brothers threw him in the pit. Correct? With David, he spent years and years running in the wilderness, running in and out of caves, running from Saul, a man he saw as his own father was trying to take his life. David, at the end of his life, his own son was trying to take his life. We see all throughout the Bible, Judas, a friend of Jesus, walked with him. If we don't have discernment and we don't allow God to lead us in our decision making, that person may be an angel right now, but you have no idea what they got on the other side. You don't have no idea what spirit they can entangle themselves with. You have no idea. And what we do, we refuse. When we start to see the signs, we don't let go. And that can cost you purpose. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family, okay? Join my family today.